All right. So this is my week 7 website. Um, this is using HTML only. I decided to make a website based on my favorite video game, which is Final Fantasy, um, about the job class system. So on my index, I went ahead and in H1 or heading one, I put Final Fantasy job classes, which you can see on the very top in bold. Um, Then I put a div to separate um, each part on the actual HTML page. So, for example, and I attach my other HTML pages all together in the index HTML, details HTML, and the about HTML. But as you can see here, the only thing I don't like about it, so I use the image source equals on the one of my first pictures, but like for some reason for only this photo in the beginning, which is the top one here on my homepage, um, the URL was like super long. And like it works. It's not in the like the orange brown color that it should be when you attach an image, but the alt equals I put in there is picture of job classes. And then below that is a paragraph, which is Final Fantasy job class system, which is under the photo. And then I allow to put in heading two or H2, well, in my form, which allows people to put their information, which I would let them put their first and last name and their email address, submit, and I have a submit button by putting input type equals submit, and the value is submit. And then just under that, I decided to put a photo just to kind of like, someone could read a little bit of information before they put their contact information. Um, and that's on the homepage, and this is what my homepage looks like. And then following that page, they would click on the about, which would be my about.html. So switch to that. I click on here, sends me to my about page. I put another picture of all the job classes that are included in the game. Um, again, I have it centered. It's in red, but it's working because it's centering everything in my body. But I put the about page and heading one. I use div again to separate, and you know, and I put the href equals for them all again on the same page in the div. Um, my bad. I No, this URL is also long as well for this photo, which is really weird. I did include a height, which for the image I put height equals 300 px, which px is just pixels. Because I believe the picture was pretty small to begin with. And then obviously the source is the image, and this is the URL for the image. Um, I do not know how to make it smaller, but it works. The alt equals is different job classes. Um, for heading two, I put about job classes, and then I made a paragraph that says different job classes require many prerequisites, but you can choose different classes to begin with. I'd use another heading two. I feel like the bold kind of like separates what they're reading, so they know what's going on to something different. But I again used H2, which is what job class should you start with, which would be, and then more information would be more of like, do you want to use magic? Do you want to wield a giant sword or lay in the back and your party members? And an additional paragraph with the tag P, a few options you can choose as a starter classes. And then I went ahead and made LI, which is just a list of starter classes people can start with, which would be warrior, white mage, black mage, bard, and monk. And that's my list under everything to kind of give people an idea what they can what what they're getting themselves into when if they want to play this game. And then we can switch over to the details tab, which goes into more details about it. Again, or before that, we'll go ahead and click on my details page. Goes to my details. Additionally, put another photo that shows like just different pictures of what the job classes actually look like. Style, which there's going to be a table in there. Border, I was able to make it solid and black, which is pretty cool. Again, div, gotta put my href equals in there so I people can get to the different pages regardless of what page you go to. They can go to the different pages as long as the information's there. Here, another image source, but this one wasn't long. This one's actually really short, so it doesn't take up the entire code or the entire lines of code, which is nice. But another image there to kind of get people like what these different job classes look like. I went ahead and made a table, which was I used the tag tr and th, which you can see in the bold here, which is starter job class. And then there's also advanced job classes to the starter job classes. So they know they could start with this class, but eventually go and at some point in the game get to this class later on. So then using the tape, be able to put those in the tables. I use the TR tag and the TD tag, and then putting the first name in there puts it in the starter job class column, but then putting a second one puts it in the advanced job class column, and then I obviously put 7 different classes they could look at within the page. So that is my project, and I hope you like it.